Good morning. This is November the 7th, Tuesday 2023, and we are in BBA first semester, section B English class. And last time we talked about the essay, how the web destroys the quality of students' paper. I am aware we have not yet covered the second part, or let me do that in 5 minutes, then I'll call her. So let me quickly tell you what is in the second part of the essay. Yes, on page 71 we have an opposing view. I'll quickly read and present, then I'll call another student to present another topic. So David Rothenberg's essay argues that misuse of internet or internet is the reason why the quality of learning is declining, because students are not able to know how to use that. So let's read this six paragraphs. David Rothenberg's thoughtful essay includes, I'll read for it, the common fallacy of giving the World Wide Web far too much power over our lives and consciousness. Too often, the assumption is that this technology somehow induces states of mind for which there is no remedy. But the web is simply a tool that needs to be used strategically by teachers who have carefully thought through the outcomes they expect from their students. So para 1. What does he say, para 1? The web is a tool and teachers should know how to use it. And the problem, this author says, problem is not because of the student. The problem is because of the teacher. Because the teacher does not explain the student how to use the internet. So rather than blaming the student that you misuse internet, the teacher should give proper training to the student about how to use Google, how to get articles and papers, and how to read, right? Para 2. Actually, it is often poor course design that impedes student performance to a far greater extent. So look, he says, you are blaming World Wide Web. But have you ever seen your courses? They are outdated. So students are not learning not only because of internet, but also because we have poor course designs. Realistically, the web no more destroys the quality of research papers than does television. Look, blame television, the blackboard, the overhead projector, the way that poorly designed research assignments are routinely handed out to students. Look, he says, the TV is responsible because it kills their time, the blackboard. So when he talks about blackboard, his point is teachers don't know how to teach and they blame the internet. Teachers don't know how to teach and they blame the internet. Nachna ave agan teda. Nachna ave agan teda. You don't know how to dance and you blame the stage. Right? If you know how to dance, you can dance anywhere. Right? Okay. Overhead projector. Look, what he says? Overhead projector. So he is indicating misuse of technology. The teachers have projector, they come with a PowerPoint, and they go on pouring down 30, 40 PowerPoints in 40-minute class. And there is so much information, you get overloaded, and you fail to learn. Right? Then, the way that poorly designed research assignment, look, assignment. Teachers don't know how to design effective assignment. An assignment should be designed in such a way that students clearly know what they're supposed to do. Right? Then, routinely handed our students or the rote way that some teachers present their material. Look. Rote presentation. Teachers at home go through the essay. They make notes. And they just present as I'm doing to you. They present the facts only. They don't interpret them. They don't explain them. They don't discuss. Teachers don't invite discussion in class. Teaching is one-sided. You listen and I speak. So the problem is not with internet. The problem with this gentleman. Because he does not know how to teach. And he blames others. In terms of quality, where does the buck stop? I would hope at the professor's desk. So who is most responsible? The professor. Who is most responsible? The professor. Where the questions about what is acceptable research need to be discussed and answered for the students' edification. Look, tell your student clearly what is acceptable. Tell him if you Google, he will fail. Tell him not to copy. Tell him to acknowledge and attribute quotes. Train your student about how to make proper use of internet. And then you will see such problems will not come. Right? Paragraph 3. Professor Rothenberg's general points, however, are well stated. And I admire his willingness to accept the challenges of what I consider the hard job of real teaching. Look, in argument, sometimes you refuse what people say, and sometimes you concede what people say. To concede means to agree to other people. So here in paragraph 3, Cummings agrees with Rothenberg, and he says that, yes, I agree that the real challenge is teaching students how to think. What is the biggest challenge? Teaching students how to think, not what to think. We are teaching you the what. We should be teaching you the how. We are giving you the content. Rote learn this, get by heart this. We should be teaching you to create the content. We are giving you packaged food. We are giving you packaged food. We should teach you how to cook. Our job should be to teach you how to cook. And we are giving you packaged food. So you get the food, eat. And tomorrow, when I'm not there, you go hungry. Right? Because you don't know how to cook. Okay. This includes teaching students how to read. Look, he borrows his quotation that I explained yesterday. Teach them how to read. Take time with language and ideas to work through arguments, to synthesize disparate sources, to come up with original thought, and to assess sources to determine their credibility. This is difficult and important work, and it teaches students how to sort the wheat from the chaff. See, tell students how to separate the valuable from the less valuable. So what is teaching? The purpose of teaching is enabling you to understand the world around you, enabling you to understand the people around you, enabling you to judge what is more valuable and what is less valuable. Teaching is training for judgment. Teaching is what? Training for judgment. People are doing activities. Leaders give a speech. Leaders make promises. And you judge which leader is true and which is false and take decision. Look how well said. At the heart of teaching is making you able to judge everything. People are doing things around you, right? And you look carefully and decide, is this guy doing this job properly or not? And you judge them. If you can make right judgment, you are successful in life. If you cannot make right judgment, People cheat you. People deceive you. Right? Number 4. In truth, there are as many rotten books and worthless journals, articles in libraries as there are rotten sources on the internet. So he says, don't blame internet. Only I was reading yesterday an article on Facebook. The article was, Hamra पुस्तकालयहरूमा च्यातिएका झुत्रा भएका काम नलाग्ने किताबहरूले ठाउँ ओगटिरहेका छन्, त्यसलाई फाल्न कानुनले बन्देज गर्छ र त्यो समस्या भइरहेछ. I read this article 2 days before. How in libraries today, book racks are filled with rotten books, and the law doesn't allow the librarian to throw them out. They have to keep them, but they're not useful. Nobody's reading them. They're outdated. And here he's saying the problem is not with the internet only. The problem is with the library, which may have outdated books. So it's not only internet that gives you outdated article. Your library also may have outdated book. Right? Look, the particular medium will matter less and less with the preponderance of cheap printer. Look, so it's not the question of medium. It's not the question of medium, whether internet or library. So the question is not whether we should study over the internet or library. The question is how we should study. See the point? It's not about internet or library. If you don't know how to read and you go to library, you won't read because you don't know. If you know how to read, you go to internet, Google, you will know how to read. If you know how to judge and go to Google, you will be able to find out this article is more useful, this article less useful. So the question is not the medium, but the skill of reading. If you are trained in the skill of reading, if you are trained in the skill of judgment evaluation, if you are trained how to explore the internet, if you are trained how to conduct a good research paper, then you can do it on internet as well. So it's not about medium, it's about our skill and ability. Look how well he answers. Okay. To suggest that the web is solely a source of ephemeral advertisements, in paragraph 6, if you check, in paragraph 6, he says that the internet is just about advertisement. About information is a specious generalization. It sounds great, but closer examination reveals it to be too sweeping an assessment, one that additionally fails to account the web's future development as a scholarly resource. See, the internet is not only about advertisement. Today, there are libraries on internet. For example, if you go here, www.worldcat.org. This is World Catalog. What it does? This website connects the university libraries of more than 200 countries. You just go to this website, type a subject, and the website will show you all the books around the world on the topic. Click, and the website will show you where that book is available. You can borrow soft copies if possible. Suppose you have a book you need in Washington, D.C. You go to TU. That's a soft copy. And ask your librarian here to use interlibrary loan. The book is not in TU. The book is in America. You need that book. So your librarian, local librarian, can borrow that soft copy from that university in America and provide you. Rothenberg doesn't realize this possibility. Internet has immense possibility as technology. The only thing is we need to train our students how to make a proper use. The same knife, if you know how to chop, you chop the what do you call? You chop, what do you call gajar in English? Carrot. You chop carrot. You have the knife in the kitchen, right? Chopping knife. And if you know how to handle the knife, you chop the carrot. If you don't know how to handle the knife, you chop your finger. I was 6 years old. A barber came to shave my father's beard. He had his knife placed on the table. I picked up, I remember. I saw the barber doing this on my father's cheeks. I took the knife. I did the same on my thighs. And I cut instantly. Even today, there is a big mark here. And I remember how when I was just 6 years old, I didn't know how to use that tool. And I cut it. So the question is not about the tool. The question is training students how to use the tool effectively. Are you getting my point? The problem comes when you do not train students how to use internet. Have they ever, I want to ask you, have your schools ever given you any training on internet so far? Tell me. Look here. Have your schools in the past given you any 1-day, 2-day training on how to use internet? Look the tragedy. Look, you have gone through 12 years of schooling, and now you're telling honestly that your schools never taught you how to use internet. Don't you think our schools should give us training? Don't you think? Don't you think this college should give you training? Don't you think? But see the reality, we are never trained. And when we are not trained, we create problems and then we blame us. यदि पनि आउँदैन, I will say, तपाईलाई सिकाउन आउँदैन, नसिकाउने अनि यति बेला भन्ने, पहिला नसिकाउने, नसिकाएपछि गल्ती हुन्छ अनि गाली गर्ने. So the point is, first train students, then blame. Okay? Look. Okay. Para 5. We should not allow the spider of popular culture to spin us up in a web of helplessness. Look, he uses a metaphor. Spider's web. So if you are a spider, you know how to walk across the net. But if you are a fly, you get caught. Have you seen? Flies get easily caught in the web. Spiders never get caught because spiders know how to use the web. Flies don't know how to use the web, so they get caught. So he's saying, as a student, get proper training of how to use internet and make yourself a spider. If you don't get proper training about how to use internet and you make yourself a fly, you will get caught. So don't become a fly, become a spider. What does spider mean? One who knows how to use it properly. One who knows how to use properly. Okay. Internet to become so personified that it takes on extraordinary powers. It's just a bunch of interconnected computers. In addition to delineating how it may prevent students from thinking clearly. Look, we need to place the onus of education back on students and institutes. Look, when you say students don't think, make students responsible for learning. See, if teacher does everything in class like Divakar sir is doing today, you won't learn. See the example here. Instead of me, I should have called her, for example, and told her, come and present. She will say, what has sir? I said, no, come and present. Then she will do something, right? She will try. What I did not give you any chance to practice over there. I came, I explained everything. I made a listen. By this time, I'm sure you're feeling quite lazy because I've been talking for about 30 minutes. This is the best example of poor teaching. Best example of poor teaching. Right? Look. Then, okay. We need to place the onus of education back on students and insist that they perform. Now she will come and say perform. They perform to certain standard. Okay, as a teacher, tell your students आई निड दिस स्ट्यान्डर्ड, यति गर्नुपर्छ है, नभए गाली खानुपर्छ। म गर्छु नि, क्लास भन्छु नि, मेरो बानी छ नि यो, यति गर है, नभए गाली खानुपर्छ भन्छु नि, राइट? टेल स्टुडेन्ट्स what do you expect. Number 6 paragraph. These issues will become increasingly important as the waves of so-called age of information approach flood stage in the years ahead. Among the dikes, sandbags, and navigation equipment that a college can offer are truly rigorous courses. Okay, so what is the solution? Finally says, the solution is, look the solution. A college should have, where is? Rigorous courses, good courses, in what? Rhetoric and critical thinking, which all college students should be required to complete. Indeed, the web may very well turn out to be precisely the burr under the saddle that compels everyone in education to return to our mission. What is burr under the saddle? When horse riders, they have something in the shoes also, and as they ride the horse, something pinches the horse's body, and when it pinches the horse's body, the horse runs faster. So something that inspires, motivates you to work harder. That compels everyone in education to return to our mission. What is the mission? Teaching people, look, what is purpose of education? Teaching people to think in disciplined way. So if you teach students to think in disciplined way, they will not bring all the problems that you are talking about. So rather than blaming them, train them how to read, how to write, how to think, how to judge. Train them in skills. So that's all about the previous essay. Now I'll invite, we have 20-minute time, we'll invite Miss Nembang, is it? Okay, and we'll listen to her. Please do come. So we have a presentation now. Miss Nembang. In the collar.
Facing upwards.
In the collar. Short collar. Yeah.
So should I like...
Erase the board and do your way you like. Present as you like. No rules, just present.
I should copy all this on the
Okay,
board.
by the time you made this, I'm sure you're quite ready, I know. So you can take small points and explain them. No problem.
So I don't have to write on the board.
Yeah. When you write on the board, they have time to copy it, right? Or do the way you like. No comment, just go ahead.
Then I'll just explain.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just...
Then I should bring this podium for you. How about coming here, okay? Go ahead.
So this is an article which was published on the Kathmandu Post recently, and the topic is the violinist, the student, and the unpaid teacher. And this was written by...
What is the topic? The violinist, the student, and the unpaid teacher. Three things. The violinist, the student, and the unpaid teacher. Go on.
It was written by an English professor, Arun Gupto. Okay, so there's a sub-headline which states pop culture often forces us to think of a teacher.
Read this sub-headline slowly again. Read this again.
Pop culture often forces us to think of a teacher as a stupid character worth making fun of.
Pop culture encourages us to think of a teacher as a stupid character and make fun of the teachers. Okay, yes, go on.
Okay, so this sub-headline conveys something about, like, a lot about this whole article. So, okay, it's like starting with paragraph 1. So, in the first paragraph, the writer has created a scene in our heads with the word imagine. So, here he has created a hypothetical sort of setting, and with the use of the word imagine. And what he's told us to imagine is that there's a there's a violinist who plays the violin very skillfully and effortlessly, and then there's his student who catches the same rhythmic flow in instant. So here, like, we can see that there is a sort of harmony is created. Harmony is created, and this harmony shows the beautiful relationship between the teacher and the student, which the writer suggests is ideal or exemplary.
So you said there is a violin, there is a music student, there is a music teacher. And the music teacher sets the strings, fine-tunes his strings, and he plays the violin beautifully. There is music, okay, is what he said, right?
Yes.
Go on, go on.
And in the last sentence of this paragraph, there is a contrasting statement at the end, which states that the failure in achieving this harmony suggests that something is wrong with the culture.
Read it again.
Failure in achieving this harmony that the student achieved. No, so that the failure in achieving that harmony.
You said something very important. Suppose there is no harmony in the violin. You play, there is no harmony. So what may be wrong? He says failure in the harmony is
something wrong with the culture.
Something wrong with the culture. Look, if there is no harmony, there is something wrong with the culture. What is culture? The culture of education, academic culture. Go on.
So this was what the first paragraph was about.
Okay.
Now on to the second paragraph. So on to the second paragraph, he talks about he talks about a Western family and how the Western family that took lessons from the violinist, the same, like, he talks about one of the stories of the violinist and how one of the Western families does not pay the violinist for the lessons that they took, and they claim that they did not take lessons from the violinist. So like, here is where the author first gets the idea from. Like, his ideas has been generated from this story of the violinist, and this is where he gets the main version of the of this essay, which leads to him getting reminded of all those other unpaid stories of Nepali laborers and Nepali doctors and teachers. So he connects the dot there. And
that is called framing technique. In narrative writing, there's a word framing technique. He begins by talking about a violin teacher in foreign country, right, in the West. And then he uses that story about that teacher to talk about Nepali college teacher, right? He begins by talking about a music teacher in foreign country, right? And uses that information to begin his story about Nepali teachers. So that story about the violin teacher is a framing technique to develop the story. Yes, go on.
So yeah, and he says that very incident leaves him very disturbed. Now moving on to paragraph 3. So in paragraph 3 is more general. We've seen that in paragraph 2 he was more specific. He was stating about one of the specific Western families. But in paragraph 2 he's more general with the problem, and he says that he's generalized the problem, and he says that the actual problem isn't how they are not paid, but how they are disrespected.
The problem is not about how they are paid. The problem is how today teachers are disrespected. Have you seen? So the issue this is raising is how society is disrespecting teachers. Yes.
Okay, so this was the general issue. You know? Now, in paragraph 4, he states the reason, like, he states one of the reasons to why this is happening. So, like, he says that teachers are very easily available and are very, like, affordable.
So why are they disrespected? They are easily available and they are easily affordable. When there is too much supply, the value goes down, right?
Yes, they were
Yes.
taken for granted. So they are taken for that. And here he says that, like, here he says that teachers can be, like, they can be philosophers, or they can be artists, or musicians, or yoga teachers, anything.
But actually, they are treated as laborers only, right?
Yes. So in paragraph 5, so the paragraph 5, okay, so in paragraph 5, he talks about the contrasting relationship of, like, parents and students and teachers, and parents and children and teachers and students, how they are different.
Okay, it says that parents, children, teacher. Okay, go on.
Okay. He also talks about.
He says that teachers give students less time in school only, but parents give them all the time. Go on.
And how it is not how it is not the teacher's responsibility to court them, or, like, court them or please them, but it is the role of the parents to do that.
Okay, teacher's job is not to please you. His job is to teach you. Look, teachers are not there to please you. They are there to teach you. Your parents are there to please you, pamper you. Teachers are not there to pamper you, please you. They are there to teach you. They might be strict, but you should know that the purpose is making you learn. Yes.
So at the end of the paragraph, there is a statement: dry the rain on the student's storm-beaten face. Dry the rain on the student's storm-beaten face.
Students' storm-beaten face.
Is what the teachers do. Is what the teachers do. It beautifully describes the significance of the teacher.
Okay. Read that again.
Teachers dry the rain on a student's storm-beaten face.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so in paragraph 6, he has further elaborated whatever is on paragraph 5. So there's the main line, like, demeaning a teacher is grave cultural disharmony at the starting.
Demeaning a teacher is
grave cultural disharmony.
Okay. So when you disrespect a teacher, this is a serious cultural issue, right? Okay.
Okay, so we can connect this statement to paragraph 1 and paragraph 3 also, which the writer is, like, keeping the readers engaged. So like, here also the same thing has been explained, like, he's defined students as the audience of the teachers.
Okay.
So, and, like, audience, so as being an audience, the student should have ethics.
Ethics. What is ethics? The sense of what is right and what is wrong. What is right and wrong? Ethics is about what I should do and what I should not do. Go on.
And also, there's the same thing, like, the teacher tries to do their things successfully, not to woo their, like, so here woo is a word used to describe, like, not to please, or, like, woo means to please or, like, seek affection. So he said that a teacher's job isn't to do that, but to teach the students.
We are not here to please you, we're here to teach you, right?
So here a sort of professional boundary is set, and what a student should expect from the teachers is created.
What can they expect if they tell? Is there any information? What can we students expect from teachers?
that they're not there to please us.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so in paragraph 7, so in paragraph 7, an example of a problem is shown. Like here, the writer mentions about audiences and how failing to woo them leads to the risk of being unpaid. So here he uses an example of a Canadian pianist, and the Canadian pianist was like had retired from live performances because he said that he was very pressured that he had to woo the audiences, and if he fails to do that, then he won't get paid, like he remains unpaid, and the unpaid here like symbolizes how they are disrespected.
An artist on the stage is under immense pressure to make the audience shout with happiness. Then you get paid. If you can't please the audience, the organizers don't pay you, right? In the same way, teachers are under immense pleasure to please the students. And if they can't please the students, parents are angry, right? के पढाउनु भयो मेरो बच्चा त खुसी छैन नि किन फी दिने तपाईलाई, right? His point is, we are not here to make you खुसी, we are here to make you learn. The argument, yes, go on.
So here this pianist is an example that supports the thought why teachers are demeaned or disrespected. So it serves as an example.
Teachers are demeaned and disrespected because of pop culture, where they're expected to please more than teach, right?
Okay, so in paragraph 8, there is another problem, like problems example. Like he's given us an example of a 5-year-old girl in an Indian television reality show who performed on a sexually suggestive song. So, and like there's a very sensitive judge who asked his parents why did they choose this song, because like the song was very normalized by the pop culture here. So,
I still remember, I know this scene. It was an Indian idol, and there was a 5-year-old child. She was dancing on a sexually suggestive song, and the judge asked later on to the guardian, why did you choose such a double meaning song for such a young girl? Right? I still remember. Yes, go on.
Yeah. So
and they say, because if you choose sexually suggestive songs, the audience is happy. Look, because we expect such songs to listen in such programs. Yes, go on.
So here it shows the same thing, like how the audience expects for the teachers to please them. So in paragraph 9, he has concluded the paragraph 7 and 8. There's another point in paragraph 9, and what the author says is like the problem comes from the parents. Like he blames parents for this, because we've seen in paragraph 2 that there was Western family who did not pay them. So here the parents are at fault for not paying them. So what he says is that the students are not bad in the nature, but there's certain factor to it that makes them bad. So in paragraph 9, he blames the parents, and that parent is main cause of failure in achieving this harmony. So in paragraph 10, there are other reasons to why teachers are demeaned. So in paragraph 10, what the writer writes is we've seen that in various high school TV shows these days, pop culture is making fun of the teachers. The pop culture has portrayed and perceived teachers as a stupid character and worth making fun of. So here that shows us how teachers have been unpaid, which symbolizes how they are disrespected.
He blames parents and pop culture. Go on.
And in paragraph 11, in paragraph 11, the author maps the article to economic dimensions, like how accessible teachers are within minimal investment. So here, teachers, they themselves are ready to teach with very minimal investment. So this is also another problem.
And that is cause. If you make yourself too much available, you lose a value, right?
So, and this is it in paragraph 11. So lastly, in paragraph 11, the author concludes his thought with dire respect to teachers, as according to the writer, their values continue with the reverence.
Say it again.
according to the writer, the teacher's value continue with reverence.
Okay. How does he conclude the essay? What is his conclusion?
Okay, so like in last, he gives an example of former Indian president, APJ Abdul Kamal.
Abdul Kalam.
Sorry, yeah, Kalam. Yeah, sorry. ARJ Abdul Kalam, and like who is a former Indian president. And so, so like here, like we can see that the writer was first mentioned the pop culture, and in the last he talks about like a former Indian president. So the former Indian president, in my opinion, represents the past generation, and how he's differentiated, separated pop culture, humiliating teachers, and how like the past generations they're like respecting their high school teachers. So like this is it, like that is how the story ends.
Okay, tell us one thing you learned from this article. What did you learn?
What did I learn was like how teachers are like taken for granted, and what like how we as a student like expect teachers to please us, while like we should have just been like taking like knowledges, skills from them, and not expecting them to.
Okay, let me show this work you have done to my camera. Here is something that she has done. Audience can see it, how hard work she has done, right? I really appreciate this kind of work you have done. It's really, you must have spent a lot of time. Can you tell your story, how you prepared this note?
I just read the story and took the main points.
How long did it take you to do this job?
Around 1 to 2 hours.
1 to 2 hours. Were you angry with the teacher assigning this kind of thing? Do you think such job is helpful in learning?
Yes, sir. I understood a lot.
Okay, give her a big hand. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. So with this we close the class, and tomorrow I'll pick up the same story. I'll pass my comments. Thank you.